Natural market, peace. So we're gonna get going here in a minute, just a second. Doing my normals. You know. I think today is the 23rd, first day of Virgo. Sun just went into Virgo. Today's the 23rd. And Mars recently went into Gemini. So the sun is squaring the sun is squaring Mars right now. Where did she put this? So we're gonna get going. The title of this little chat is The Future of the Mind. And what I'm doing here is looking kind of a ways down the road. And I want to direct our attention to the year 2025. But we're going to walk our way up to 2025 to show why it is significant. Okay. You know, I got to get my water going. Do these dishes. And so, a major player in the heavens right now is Mars. And he's going to be a major player for some time. And even more so than, you know, all of the planets are major players, but the significance of Mars is already prominent and is going to increase. We just had a conjunction at the end of July that hasn't happened for around a couple of thousand years, and this is according to other astrologers, so I'm relying on their data on this one, meaning that the conjunction of Mars, Uranus, and the North Node in Taurus has not happened since around 300 BC, which would be around the time of Alexander the Tyrant and the Ptolemies. Now, Mars is a key element because Mars was part of the conjunction. And Mars, which is courage, which is warrior energy, which is assertiveness, which is laser-like sharp edge, as in a knife, or piercing capability, as in a bullet. or an arrow. Therefore Mars is weaponry. So you take that motif and combine it with Uranus, which is freedom, which is a sudden uproar, which is volatility, which is breaking through, breaking away, which is futuristic. Uranus is also about the truth, because the truth is often hidden, and Uranus uncovers, i.e. breaking away. So you have Mars, those attributes I just talked about, the attributes of Uranus, and the North Node. The North Node, which is saying this is where we're on a natural collective trajectory. Not saying that the South Node is like the boogeyman, but the North Node is springing from the South Node. And the goal with anything in astrology is to try to find the focal point, the midpoint, the balance. If the sign of Taurus is associated with the bull, you can look at the glyph and it's obvious. That's a bovine head with horns. So Taurus is the bull. Now, its opposite is Scorpio. Scorpio, then, if Taurus is the bull, then Scorpio is the cutting up of the bull. As in Scorpio, you notice it starts with the letters SC. SC partly represents cutting. The word scissors starts with what? SC. Science starts with what? SC. So when you have the word schism starts with what? SC. So when you have a SC, one way to look at that is you can talk about cutting. Now the planet Mars in traditional astrology rules Scorpio. So then we already talked about that piercing, cutting aspect of Mars. The difference of Mars and Aries and Scorpio, though, is that Scorpio is more exacting. Scorpio is not just the angry person who's going on a tirade. Scorpio is precision. It's where the knife is used as a scalpel. It's where the knife is used by the barber, the razor. Put that precise line. That's more Scorpio. It's the butcher who knows how to cut up the bovine. Okay? So with the North Node in Taurus, we can say, and I got another video I'm gonna put up talking about all this. We can say that Taurus is putting the body of Osiris back together. Because one of the nomenclatures or the titles for Osiris is that he's the bull of the West. Bull of the West. Association with Taurus. So, one way we can look at this, Uranus, Mars, conjunction in Taurus, is a sudden rage of the bull. As in the bull, like they say, some people say the bull in the china shop. Now that rage can be negative and it can be positive. We see the rage with the crime we've seen increase, just the crazy murders and the just the horrific car crashes, you know, because Mars is combustion. So a car crash involves a combustion engine, combustive, a lot of times mental state where people are in a super hurry, they're very aggressive, and it becomes dangerous and something can suddenly happen. Car wreck. Well, on the day of that conjunction, we're driving down to New Orleans. It's raining like crazy. And all of a sudden, around the time that the conjunction was exact, all of a sudden, one of the blades on the windshield wiper flies off the truck. Now, a blade is a knife. It's cutting through the water so you can see Mars. Something sudden breaking, Uranus. Okay? The same trip we had, this gas is, a lot of this gas out here ain't no good. So suddenly we discovered that the gas we got in Shreveport, you know, the truck started to kind of, it didn't feel normal. Like it didn't have its normal power. And so gas, Taurus, a sudden realization, gas, because gas is a natural resource, Taurus. And you also had the combustion engine, Mars, and a sudden realization, Uranus. So that's just an example of these things, how they can play out negatively. Now, positively, this can mean a sudden expansion of consciousness, a sudden realization of what one has, a sudden scientific breakthrough on a personal level. Sudden Uranus, breakthrough Uranus, exactitude, realization, a cutting away to get to the core of something, Mars. Taurus, what I have, resources, security in what I have. Now, part of the reason me be saying all this is to show you that amongst these energies, Mars is one of the key players. Okay? Now, what happened in, let's see, then in August we had the, the full moon. But then the next thing about Mars is that now Mars today has moved into the sign, no, not today, but a couple of days ago, 21st, Mars made its ingress into Gemini. And it's going to be there until next year, I think. It's going to be there for a while because it's going to turn retrograde in Gemini. Now, Mars and Gemini, you just combine just analyze the language. Gemini is the mind. It's the analytical, detail-oriented, asking questions, constantly moving, very fast-moving mental energy, okay? It's Mercury, the messenger god. So Geminis tend to talk fast, talk a lot, move a lot, and this is Gemini rising, Gemini sun mostly. Very active, okay? Because that's the Gemini energy. Now, but with the, oh, no astro, oh man, this clown. So Mars is again the knife. Okay? So Mars is an opportunity for the mind to sharpen. Okay? That's the positive. One of the positives of Mars and Gemini. A sharper mind. A more speaking and getting to the point. Okay? Cutting through, getting to the point. The downside is having a sharp tongue that cuts, you know? And nothing cuts like words. Or having a mind that is driven by angst, frustration, lack of patience. That can happen. But again, the point I want to bring about is two things. One, again, we got Mars in Scorpio. My brother got Mars in Scorpio. He got a temper. What was I saying? Oh, again, Mars is a key player, okay? But notice where he's at. He's in a air mental sign, okay? Air sign. One thing I want to say that's very important, I want y'all to really listen in on this. The outer planets set the stage. The outer planets, hold on one second. Let's do this. The outer planets are like the highways in your city. Okay? You don't control the highways. You can hear, if you listen closely, you can hear these sirens going off outside my window. So there's a chance maybe somebody had a wreck or they have an emergency, but there's a chance that there's some emerging situation going on the highway. Okay? We have no control over the infrastructure or what goes on the highway. Okay? Those are outer planets. The outer planets set the tone for our lives. We don't control them. Okay? What we have to do with the outer planets is we have to learn how to maneuver with them. Okay? So, for the past at least a decade, we've been dealing with the outer planets, for the most part, in feminine spaces. Let's say at least for the past 4 years, they've all been in feminine territory. Okay? In 2018, Uranus made its ingress into Taurus. Taurus is feminine energy. Okay? In 2008, Pluto made its ingress into Capricorn, earth sign, feminine energy. I can't remember when Neptune went into Pisces. It's been a minute. But either way, Neptune in Pisces, feminine energy. Now, I'm going to walk you back to 2020. At the end of 2020, we had the very talked about conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius. Something that hadn't happened in like 800 years or so. Okay? That was an air. That was, how can I describe it? That was a beacon from the future, because it was the sign or the planet that deals with right now, the structure, tradition and all of that, Saturn. And it was conjunct a planet that is about the opposite of structure. It's about expansion. It's about, and Jupiter is futuristic, okay? So it was the end of a chapter and the start of a new chapter in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is what? An air sign. The air signs are mental. Why the title of this is The Future of the Mind. Okay? So, I wanted to say that first. And then I'm coming back now to the fact that I'm pulling this off. The fact that we just talked about these outer planets are in feminine energies right now. Well, by 2025, all three of those outer planets will be in masculine signs. Uranus will be in Gemini, which is going to be super potent, because those two really know how to jive with each other. Uranus is the higher octave of Gemini's ruler, Mercury. It's the higher mind, okay? Neptune will be in Aries. So Neptune has been dissolving old cycles while in Pisces, and a new head emerges when Neptune goes into Aries, meaning that people who have not been working on their minds right now may not have a clue who they are when Neptune goes into Aries. Because Aries is, who am I? I am this. And so if you don't have a I am this, or some degree of truth about who you are now, where you stand, what you stand on, then by the time 2025 comes and Neptune goes into Aries, it will provide a new mind, a fresh new fire. The first fire is Aries. Okay? Then you have, we talked about Neptune, Pluto. Next year, next year, Pluto goes into Aquarius. Now that's big. That's big for several reasons. But we'll just say, again, Aquarius is the mind. It's another mental energy because it's air. All right. Now, right now, you hear murmurings about, we hear all the stuff about the guy Musk, who has the satellites up in the sky, and what he's doing with his Neuralink is what he calls it, and this and that. We also hear people who say, this is the common thing on YouTube. We got so-and-so amount of people in here, and we only got 100 likes. Now I ain't gonna continue until we get some more likes. Now you getting this information for free, hit the like button, you know? And then they say, to support the algorithm. I don't know if people, and I mean, I understand. I mean, it is what it is. We're in the matrix, all right? But it always trips me out when they say to support the algorithm. Now, and at the same time, we might be talking about something about, higher consciousness and how we need to evolve and this and that and what we are up against. Then in the same breath say support the algorithm. That's crazy. Support the algorithm. And the algorithm is AI. Some amazing shit. It's the mind that is competing against ours. And we can't help it. It's collecting data on me right now, on you, because you're watching this. It's collecting data on you, on whatever you search and this and that. And so we know it is what it is. But sometimes we just got to put it in perspective, And so we say support the algorithm. Now, AI is already active, obviously, as I just said. But I feel strongly that the next gear of it really goes into full effect in 2025. Because we will have Pluto in Aquarius, we will have Uranus in Gemini, and we will have Neptune in Aries. Now, as a precursor to all of this, next year, we have the North Node moves into Aries. Okay? The North Node. So again, and Aries is ruled by Mars. So once again, we're having, like I did a reading for a lady named, her channel is, I can't remember the name of her channel. Oh man. Dang it. Either way, I did a reading for her. And she told me, she said, I feel like we have, she said, like 3 years of grace. She said to 2024. And she said, I don't want to say her real name. I know her real name. I don't want to say it because, but she said, because I can't remember her YouTube name. She said, we got like 3 years of grace to 2024. And I believe she was on it. And it wasn't like she was basing this on astrology. She was basing this on just a channel, just a download. And I think she was very right, very correct, and because what is the most dangerous thing to attack is the mind. Because once that's gone, everything else is done. And so it has been the hidden captive, or not captive, but the hidden target through all of these things that's gone on through these last couple of years. What has it really been aiming at? I mean, the body has been on the forefront, health, immune system, and another thing has been on the forefront, money. Everybody's talking about money, and rightfully so, because I mean it's a factor in our existence. Money, okay, fiat, and a lot of people have pivoted. They pivoted and made it just pretty obvious, I'm going straight for the paper, you know. And it's like I ain't trying to hide, I'm going for the paper. That's what it's all about. And that's understandable because so much energy has been in the feminine signs. What do I have? Security. Earth energy is very practical. It's like the show me state. I got to see it to believe it. That's earth energy, Virgo is very practical. Capricorn, get the job done. Taurus is about the security of resources, very practical. So all of us have had to think more about money. For one reason, because all the prices keep going up on everything. So even if you trying to be super above the fray of just the automatism, there are things put in place to say, well, let me snatch these peasants back down by, let me make the gas, such and such, and a block of cheese gonna go up $2 and basic stuff. So that's how things are put in place to steer consciousness. But we are challenged that even in the midst of surviving and thriving, on the earth plane, we're still challenged to be cognizant of the future. And what creates the future is the mind. That's what creates the future. The mind creates it because it imagines the future. And that steers the right now. The imagination of the future controls the now. Meaning, I'm doing something right now that will pay off in the future, and I'm seeing the future as though it is right now. Mentally, I mentally see what is not here right now. Thus, I carry myself in a certain way right now because I know the future is entangled with now. It's the mind. The future is the mind. And so, to keep it in terms of money, the future will do away with basic labor. The future's going to do away with it. So this is just like a heads up. Now, if you have the opportunity, you want to figure out something you can do to secure finance that involves some type of skill mentally. And that doesn't mean that, see, let me say this. Even if you're doing something with your hands, as in you're welding, that's still mental. You have to have some type of mental skill to go along with the physical to weld. You got to have some type of mental acuity to be able to be an electrician. You got to have some type of mental skill to be a plumber. See, what we're saying is we've been taught that the mental things are only those like engineer, doctor, lawyer, the basic stuff, but that's not, we're talking about a skill, mental, because what we keep talking about the AI is catching up to try to wipe out things, more things that humans would have normally done. I mean, when you go in the store, let's say if you go to Walmart, the cashiers be so rude, you would rather just go through the self-checkout line. And so then all of this data is collected. Well, the people prefer the self-checkout line. And so we'll phase out more and more of these actual customer service reps because they don't realize that, by creating a nasty experience for somebody with your attitude, what you're doing is you're really working against all of us, because they want that to happen anyway, to justify phasing out your job. So it is a concerted effort, even if you're doing a job that requires skill and thought. It's still looking to try to figure out how to do that too. They're trying to do telenursing right now. But it's such a highly involved skill set that it is harder to phase it out. There's so much need for human interaction that it's harder to get rid of it. So we have, like the sister said, we have a grace period. We have a grace period to assess what we have. You know, Taurus, while the North Node is still moving through Taurus, we have the opportunity to mentally assess what we have. Like if you know how to make a product, if your grandmama has some recipe for how to make shea butter or how to make such and such, and you know, that's a skill that you can put your energy into. See, one thing this AI can't duplicate is the human spirit and the soul that goes into something. You can't copy that. And so I'm talking on all levels. In other words, be creative. Think like a god. Be creative. Gods create. And so get in this space. It's 2022 right now. We got about 4 months left. Then we in 2023, and Pluto's going to go into Aquarius. So this is the time to activate you. It should have already been happening, but if it hasn't, it is time to upgrade. I want to read something out of this book. It's called Secrets of Your Cells. And I want to read this from the standpoint that we are deep into the internet. The internet is a web. Internet, across the web. Web. Okay? And we know we got all the stuff about the metaverse, and we got Neuralink, and we know that one of the goals is to lock the mind into this web where it cannot see outside of it. It's in the movie Dark City. It's in the movie Idiocracy. I mean, countless movies are showing this in different ways. Locked in and can't maneuver. And so one of the keys, what's up, Brianna? One of the keys is to be able to think outside of the web. And the thinking outside of the web affects something that this book calls tensegrity. And I think this word was created by Buckminster Fuller. And so I want to read this because our whole existence is about webbing. We have webs in our blood called cytoskeleton. We have webs around our muscle tissue called fascia. Okay? Everything, our whole existence is governed by a series of webs. Okay? And so I want to read this. Embedded in the design of our sails is a translucent dynamic webbing that decides the sail's direction. While the external receptors we have learned about in preceding chapters listen to our molecules, the fabric or strings of our sails manifest action. Connecting inside with outside, the strings vibrate, push, and pull, guiding the sail into delivering what it's supposed to. A new fluttering on its strings plays a new tune of activities. This is the way into the secrets of our sails. Now, what is playing the song though? What is causing the vibration that they're talking about? This. Thoughts. I'm sure y'all already knew that, but we'll just say it just for the record. Thoughts. That's the musician playing this string. And this string, okay, let me just read it. The degree of tension on the matrix of the sail regulates the sail's expression and destiny. Stretching taut triggers one genetic message and outcome. Letting go of some tension initiates another message and outcome. Same genes, same internal intelligence, different future. I want to read this. I want to read that again. Stretching taut triggers one genetic message and outcome. Letting go of some tension initiates another message and outcome. Same genes, same internal intelligence, different future. Apply that collectively. Same collective humanity, same stuff going on, same triggers, different future depending on your level of consciousness. Tensegrity guides the pattern of human-made structures, cells, and even complex tissues. We find it in buildings and atoms, spider webs, stars, and molecules. Tensegrity refers to any physical structure that stabilizes and supports itself by balancing opposing forces of tension and contraction. That's what the zodiac does. Peace, BK Trainer. That's what the zodiac does. The zodiac is a web. The zodiac is her web. Peace to the prophet, C. Freeman L. The zodiac is her web. And you study it to figure out how to create tensegrity. There are 12 signs, but there are really only 6. Because in each sign, you will see expression of the other, yin and yang. There's a little bit of Leo in every Aquarius. There's a little bit of Aquarius in every Leo. And so on. The term was constructed from tensional integrity by architect futurist Buckminster Fuller to describe situations in which push and pull have a win-win relationship. We are figuring out how to make every situation a win for us. Through our ability to read the tensegrity, or to create tensegrity, and to read where tension is that needs to be loosened and where tension needs to be increased. And tension becomes the word attention. While Mars is in Gemini, we have a great opportunity to increase our attention. Because Mars is a knife, a blade. And if you can turn your mental energy into this, nothing can touch you. Because you have the ability to cut away the fat. Cut away the fluff. Cut away the bullshit. Just like I ignore shit on this live because my mind is sharp. Some motherfuckers just come here just to try to disrupt your opportunity to get something. Sharp. Keep your knife sharp. It's a positive way to work with this. Sharpen you. And wherever that Gemini falls in your chart, you sharpen that shit. Sharp, sharp. Oh, I see I'm getting a little dull. Sharp, sharp, sharp. At the same time, checking yourself to see where I might be misusing my knife. There's a sexual connotation to that. Okay? The man's phallus is his knife. The woman's womb is what has been cut. That has a Martian aspect to it. The tongue, what I say, cuts. But I want to make sure I don't misuse my cutlery. Our brains have a cut down the middle. Okay? And that cut allows us to see both sides. We got this clown. I'm gonna give this clown some attention since they always want attention. See, this. Now that I'm pretty much wrapped up with what I had to say. This was crazy about the internet. I wouldn't give nobody you sharp and all. That's right. That's right. Who is that? Gosetti. I'm gonna tell you. This is how you know people ain't got no pride. If this is a human, I would never give nobody the enjoyment of thinking I cared enough about them to be a troll. I got too much pride to be a troll. I'm telling you, there ain't a motherfucker on the planet that matters as much to me that I would sit and just and to try and disrupt. See, this is what I'm telling you. The world is full of children. And if it's a man, check this out. Check this out. If this is a man, you can always spot a man who got a terrible sex life. I'm telling you now, I can't go in. I'm just telling you off of just gut knowledge. No man who has a healthy sex life would be a troll. Telling you. They're going to come out with some studies on this. Any dude that's a troll, oh man, he's sexually frustrated. You know, either he has some sexual identity issues that he cannot own up to, or he is just frustrated because he can't release. He can't release with another human. Yeah. And probably broke. Now check this out. You want attention? I'm gonna give you some attention. Moochie. Ain't nothing wrong with being broke. Ain't shit wrong with it. But there's something wrong with being broken. You took the time out of your day, and I hope I'm not talking no robot, and this isn't human. But you never know these days. But I would hope that somebody wouldn't take time out of their day to sit and waste their time on me. On me, I gotta be, in your eyes, I gotta be something special. I gotta be something special. You waste your time trying to disrupt, and you can't, because my mind's too goddamn sharp. My mind's too sharp. You have the mind of a dull pencil. Can't make no straight lines. Everything fuzzy when you write. There's your attention. Now go and get your Vaseline and do what you do every day around 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern, whatever time zone you're on. Beloved. Motherfuckers be thinking, let me tell you something that people don't know. I was a master at roasting motherfuckers. People think because I get on here and talk about humble, I'll have you ready to go jump off a damn cliff somewhere. I used to draw pictures of motherfuckers in the lunchroom. When we you know, back in, you know, we would have, you have to roast each other in the lunchroom. Playing football on the bus, driving to a game. Oh man, after we ate pregame meal and we was on the bus going to the game, oh God, it was, no. On the bus coming back from, because driving to the game, we couldn't be laughing and talking. But pregame meal, oh man, it was a roast session. So motherfuckers get to think that you get on here talking about something intelligent that, man, I can roast you and not even see you because I know your nature. By the way you act, I know that hurts you. I know your sex life in the toilet. I know you're a coward. And you're probably somebody else who got a YouTube channel and you don't want me to know who you are because you're a coward. You're scared of me, and you should be. It goes to any other motherfucking hater. You should fear me. Now, I apologize to all of the good folk who didn't come here for all that. But you know, sometimes you just gotta, you know how it is. Some people, that's all they understand. Their whole life has been that. You know, men need hugs. Men need hugs. And sometimes the lack of men getting hugs when they're children, they grow up to be cowards who try to pretend to be tough. Cowards. Women need hugs too. Children need hugs. Most of these people, man, we're dealing with a world full of children. What Brother Bobby say? Pathological, perpetual, grown-up children at large need hugs. And that's the other part of when the North Node moves into, see, it's all beautiful. It's all come back to a teaching thing. When the North Node moves into Aries, one of the negative aspects of that is that Aries is the root chakra. And that doesn't make it negative because the root chakra is where the snake rises up. The problem is when a person has a childlike mind and consciousness, they stay in the little grave and the snake never stands up because they just don't have the fortitude and the energy to raise it up. So we will see an increase of childishness as the North Node moves into Aries. Because some people ain't ready to be leaders. Aries is a leader. Aries is a trailblazer. Aries is the head, so Aries will say, I'll go ahead and do it. Y'all scared to do it? I'll go ahead. Aries. All right. Over on Patreon, I'm teaching. I'm teaching for real, for real. You know, I'm putting literature on there for people to read. You know, I just put a 1,900 word document on Patreon, you know, that explains some of the things we've been talking about. You know, I'm gonna be teaching astrology on Patreon. Not so you can be like, oh, I'm a Libra, I want harmony. No, none of that bullshit. I'm talking about real astrology, so you can read the weather out here, and you can read the weather in here. It helps you as a parent to understand what your child might be going through. Because we can dismiss this shit all we want. But I'm going to tell you what. Nobody is around here not looking at the clock. I done looked at the clock probably 5 times since I've been on here. Because in this realm, time is at play. Okay? So if I'm going to pay attention to the lesser time, why wouldn't I have any concern for the greater time, the greater clock, the clock that always has been? So that's why, you know, we're doing some of this on Patreon. I'm even going to be talking about physical fitness, everything. All right? And we already got content up there, and it's a wealth of things already, and we're going to continue. So I invite you. I don't have it down here in the thing, but I'll put it in the description after this. It's just Patreon, I think, /the Gnosis, I think. It's $5. You know, $5. And I know $5 can sometimes make it tight. But if you got it, it'll be well worth your investment. So check it out. That's the end of the commercial. We're going to go and see what some of the comments. You know, Brianna said, you know, in the stories, there's a troll under the bridge. When we are going from the unknown to the known, go over the bridges. Over the bridges, rainbows and trolls. Damn, that's a good one. Wandering Wendy said, I love this. Thank you. She got the knife. You're most welcome. Erica, how you doing, Erica? Said trolls equal energy vampires. Yeah, they try to be. They try to be. What's up to I spoke the natural market. What's up to you? J Music, what's up? Brianna said, when you wish upon a star, you are raising your eyes above your circumstances. Pretty profound to trust the universe. Pretty profound to trust to trust the universe will enact your thoughts into matter. Why? Because our desires do matter. Facts. Yes. So hopefully I didn't miss everybody. I want to thank Cosmic Chlorophyll. I have seen this on video. They be wanting them likes up. Spirit told me to change the algorithm months ago. Not really sure what that means, but I will figure it out. Cosmic Chlorophyll. Peace to you. Peace, humble introvert. 360 degrade. You have your little 1,000 subscribers. And now, oh man, people are comical. Now you can afford to lose some, right? Yes, I can, because you don't pay my mortgage, beloved, or the car note, or the lights, or the water, school tuition, none of it, beloved. All right, I appreciate all of y'all. 720 astrology.com is the site. Patreon.com/the Gnosis. Stay down till you get up, and when you get up, stay down. Peace.